The point also being, Mr. Oswal, that while a lot of people talk about valuations looking fairly attractive right now, I believe in certain key pockets even you would be finding valuations to be attractive, maybe banking, maybe a few other sectors. Right. You think technically, one, and two, because of the lack of buying support, there is a lot of headroom, or if I can call it, a lot of room for the market to go downwards before we even see some value buying emerging?
That's, I think, a very genuine concern in the market, because markets always will keep on surprising us, and we never thought that market can correct so fast, and it has corrected only because of, I think, just the inflation numbers. So we cannot rule out the possibility of market going down from here, because in short term, you know, it's a demand and supply, and if we don't see any kind of buying coming in for investors, which was dominant in last couple of years, then you can see some kind of correction. But I think your fundamentals are so strong that the serious sellers, I don't see that serious sellers will come and really sell or get out of the country. Maybe people are waiting for the right levels, because at high level we are about 16 to 17 times of the earning for 2012. So market has corrected, so it has given them good opportunity. So definitely value buying will emerge. The question is when, and it's very difficult to predict that.
What's your own expectation, Mr. Oswal, about the business cycle as it plays out? People are talking about the first half of this year being challenging. Second half, of course, there could be a retracement of funds back from overseas shores, and that would perhaps scale up the market and bring up market activity. Is that how you're also viewing the business? The first 6 months would be tough for all brokerages, and then perhaps second half of the year we would see a resurgence of interest as far as India is concerned?
See, historically, normally 4 years out of 5 years, the business is much more in second half, because of your budget expectations and your allocations coming from I think the various investors, including insurance. For insurance also, it is the biggest quarter. So historically, this quarter, the last quarter is far better, and the second half is far better. But you know the kind of, I think, issues we have seen at the particular level where it's a completely deadlock. So people are not sure what will happen to the budget, when it will come. So the budget factor or feel good factor on account of the budget is missing this time.
And of course there is this overhang of what the RBI said, Mr. Oswal, with regards to inflation being a persistent concern for the near term. In light of all of these,
sure,
if indeed the value buying were to emerge, what sectors would it emerge in? I mean, because banking, while it has corrected quite a bit, there is still concern because of the RBI statements that have come in. Rate sensitives remain a concern. What sectors does one look at all, if at all?
I think if you look at long-term side of story, I think I don't see any problem on the whether it's banking side or auto side or even some of the commodity side or very good FMCG or pharmaceutical companies. The problem is the short-term problem, and that really resulted to some kind of jittery on the part of the investors. So my sense is that the people who want to build the long-term portfolios for next 2 to 3 years, because equity is very difficult to make a small portfolio for next quarter or next 6 months or 1 year. So the serious investors, long only or long-term investors, it's a great opportunity for them to buy the stocks or accumulate the stocks at the right levels. Maybe and definitely in banking sector, the kind of, I think, growth we are seeing in terms of savings rate, in terms of loan book, maybe for short time because of high interest rate, they can see some squeeze in their margins. But the whole trend is that the trend is so strong for the overall business, very difficult to see any kind of serious erosion in their margins. And this quarter also seen that banking sector is more or less led by ICICI or SBI. They have, I think, done very well, while the tightening by the RBI has happened since long, but they have not been really seriously impacted. Even auto numbers, look at the automobile numbers. I think numbers are quite good, or even maybe in some cases better than expected. So the issue is that investors must look at the longer term trends and build the portfolios of the companies which are really managed well, where the tailwind of the business is very good. So I would really advise everybody that it's a good time to build long-term portfolios, banking, auto, maybe I think few companies which really are not to be perceived good on, say, telecom, metals. These are the sectors I would be quite confident in terms of earning part. Now, I don't know what will happen to the market prices in short term, but ultimately the price will be reflected through the fundamentals.